What's up, YouTube? This is Random Nation coming at you real quick. I'm going to do a quick review video on some of these vape juices and vapes that I have. We got quite a few of them around here. And the thing is a lot of people ask, is vaping safer than smoking? The short answer is yes. It's a lot better for you because cigarettes have a lot of different chemicals in it that vaping don't have in it. Cigarettes have everything from formaldehyde to different carcinogens that can really mess up your body, can hurt you, and overall impact your health in bad ways. Vaping also has some chemicals in it, but it's basically just VG oil. You got propylene glycol, vegetable glycol, and then of course whatever flavoring it is that you put into it. And then of course if you add nicotine to it, you have nicotine as well. The thing is, a lot of people don't realize there's a lot of stuff with nicotine in it, including potatoes. Potatoes have nicotine in them. Tomatoes have nicotine in them. A lot of fruits, bell peppers, all kind of stuff have nicotine in them. So you're getting nicotine in your system even if you don't smoke. So the nicotine part isn't so bad. It's just the amount of nicotine you're putting in your system. But nicotine is the addictive, or supposedly the addictive, substance that's in cigarettes. I have found, since I've been vaping, now I will say I quit smoking on the 1st of January. And I quit smoking with vaping. I bought a little cheap vape pen, just something to kind of get me by with. I think Amy's.
Actually, I kept that for you. I got it hidden.
Amy's digging for it over here to see if we can show you the original one I started with. Now, mind you, it's a little cheapo. It was just something to try to get us by with, and we've actually went through a few different types of vapes and vape pens and stuff and everything. But once you find something that you're comfortable with, vaping is a very good alternative to smoking.
I think it's dead because I didn't keep it charged for you.
But see, we got this one right here, which is the Views Vibe, and it's really good. It's only got a few flavors for it, but the flavors for it, that one's rich tobacco, I believe, is not bad.
That one only had 4 flavors. It had the original, which is your nicotine.
Yep.
It had a mint one,
yep,
which is just like a mint taste. It does not taste like menthol. And then they had a melon. And
yeah.
I believe that's it for this pen that you tried.
And, like I said, that helped me quit smoking. I actually quit smoking immediately using that. The problem was
4 milliliters.
the problem with that, though, is it's so small. You go through it in a day, maybe 2 days, depending on how much you smoked. Amy was able to use hers when she had one, when she got one that had no nicotine in it. When she had hers, she was able to use it for a couple of weeks before she went through one of them, because she was only sissy puffing it, and half the time she wasn't even inhaling it, she's just getting the flavor in her mouth.
But I quit over 2 years ago, and I ain't vaped or nothing.
But then after that, we went to the Views Alto, I believe it was, which was pretty good. That's for Will. We went to the Views Alto, and the Views Alto was a little bit stronger than those little vape pens, and it's got a cartridge in it, and you replace the cartridges. Of course, I figured out how to take them apart to where I could refill them. I don't have one of those right now, because I ended up breaking the last one because I kept fooling around with it. And then I went from the Views Alto to this little guy. This is the
Smock Prince.
The Smock Prince. It's the Vape 22 Light Edition. And this little guy's good. I like this little guy. It's a good, how shall I say, it's a good one to keep around for, like, next to your bed or something, so that you have something that you're not overly smoking. You know what I'm saying? It don't have a big chamber on it, so you're not putting a whole lot of vape oil in it. And you know, it hits really good. It charges really good. Now the Vuse Alto also had the same kind of charging port as this one. The Vuse Alto, the issue I had with it was the charging port on it broke. That was a pain in the butt. Oh, I also had the Breeze 2. Which the Breeze 2, the charging port on it broke. I have learnt with these vapes that these charging ports, you know, they make these cheap. The less money you spend on your vape, the cheaper it's built. And on the cheaper ones, the charging ports are built really cheap. So if you're not very careful plugging it in, you could bend or break the pin in there, and you're just out of luck. It's not fixable without tearing the whole thing apart and replacing that. And it's not really worth all that. It's easier just to go buy a new pin. That's why I ended up getting this one. And like I said, this one hits really good. I actually love this one. This is one of my favorites. They have two different coils you can get for that one. This one, they have this little coil right here, which is a mesh coil, which is the one that you would want to get with this. And they also have a strip coil. The problem with them is the strip coil kills your battery. Like, dead serious. I charge this thing completely full, take about 3 or 4 good hits off of it, and then I'm going to grab it to take another hit, and the battery's dead. I put the mesh coil in here on the other hand, and it's lasting all day. I haven't had no issues with it. And of course, you know, I thought maybe there was something wrong with my vape, you know. So of course, I go to the vape shop yesterday, and I'm talking to the lady up there, and she's explaining to me, no, the strips are actually bad. They burn out really quick, and they kill your battery. They, for some reason, just keep drawing energy, even though they shouldn't be. So, yeah. Like I said, this is a good starter pin. Okay, this is, you know, now if you just don't know if you want to vape or not, and you just want to try something, I would go with just a simple $15 little vape pen that you can buy at any little gas station. If you're thinking that you might want to stick around with vaping for a little bit, go with something like this. They're about $35, and they're nice looking. As you can see, it lights up like that. And you get a decent little hit. They also have these little vent tubes on the side that, as you can see, blow out. What that's for is if you hear, there ain't no bubbling now because I just did it, but if you ever hear any like sizzling sound from this while you're vaping, you're going to want to blow in then suck. The reason why you want to do that bubbling sound is the oil actually boiling inside the chamber, and if you don't blow out, some of that oil will end up going in your mouth and burn your tongue. So you blow through and it kind of vaporizes that little bit of oil so you don't burn yourself. Now, I did yesterday, went and bought this guy's Big Brother. It's a lot better. This one gets a lot better hit. It's smoother, and the flavor is better. The reason why, as far as I can tell, is because it's putting more power to actually heating it, so it's heating it more, and it's got a bigger chamber on it. As you can see, there's not too much of a size difference. It's maybe about an inch taller, but it's easier to refill. This little thing right here just slides over compared to this one. You actually have to unscrew the top. This is the Stick V9 Max. It comes in this nice, I love this little smock, or smoke as I like to say it, because that's what they're trying to say, but smock box. And it comes with the case right there. And this says it's a new S1 and S2 coil. So it's got 2 coils in it. But these are mesh coils. They're really easy. Once you figure out how to work one, you know how to work all of them. It's all pretty easy to put together. To turn it off and on, I'm going to do it with this one because it lights up so you can see. But you press it 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then it'll blink a couple times. It lets you know it's off. This one does the same thing, but the light is on the button. I kind of wish the big one lit up like the small one does, but at the same time, that also means I'm not going to drain the battery as much with the light going. I have tried dozens of different vape juices, and everybody has their different flavors that they like. I will say that much. Amy will sometimes, she'll want to try the flavors and everything just to see what the flavors taste like. So I'll get the 0 milligram. They ain't got no nicotine, none of that kind of stuff in it, just a flavor. And I will pick up, some of these, like I got Monster right here. As you can see, it's 0 nicotine. It has absolutely no nicotine in it, but it tastes just like Monster energy drink. Ha! Go Monster, right? Would figure I would find a way to incorporate Monster into vaping. But you got that one. Then, of course, I liked menthol cigarettes, so I got menthol e-liquid, which I usually, this one right here, I'll add it to other flavors just because the fact I'll have something that doesn't quite taste right, so I'll add this and it fixes the flavor. I also have a regular American blend tobacco, which, once again, I add this to other flavors sometimes just to have that tobacco taste with the other flavors without completely killing the flavor. All it takes is a couple of drops of this, and you get that flavor like you're smoking a cigarette, which is good for somebody who's an ex-smoker. Now, if you've never been a smoker, try to stay away from the menthols and the tobacco flavors, because obviously you'll start wanting a cigarette even if you've never smoked before. But I have a total of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. I got a total of 11 flavors. I shouldn't run out of vape juice anytime soon. I got a few of these that I don't even know if I'm going to be able to finish because they just don't really taste all that great. We got one right here. It's called Rabbit Tobacco. This is actually the first one I got for my bigger vape right here. And this is Rabbit Tobacco, but this was 18 milligrams of nicotine. So this is a really high concentration of nicotine. And I got this because I'm an ex-smoker. So being an ex-smoker, I smoked all the time. I needed something with a strong enough nicotine to where I felt like I was still getting that nicotine from it. And believe it or not, this one bottle of 18 was all I needed once I got past the point of smoking. Then I was able to drop down to this one right here, which is a Mini Chief. I swapped down to it, which is a 14. Then, of course, I went down to a Sour Diesel, which is a 12. And then I went to a 6. And now the ones that I'm smoking on is a 1. Or actually, I take that back. I do have one right here.
A 0.
Yeah, I got a lot of them over here that are 0s, but this one is a 6 because they have it in 3, 6, or 9 for this particular one. Now, I'm going to try to explain these flavors. The Rabbit Tobacco, that is
Tricks. Cereal.
The Mini Chief is supposed to be the, what do you call those things? The Girl Scout cookies. Thin Mints. That's what it's supposed to taste like. It don't quite taste right to me. But the guy tried. He's mixing them himself, and I went in there with a bunch of flavors and said, hey, I want you to mix this, 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 this. Excuse me. Mini Sour Diesel. I don't remember exactly what it tastes like. Give me one second. It is safe to actually eat these because it is food grade flavoring. It's got kind of a menthol flavor to it, and honestly, the best way I can describe that would be kind of like a sour tart. Then, of course, I got my Monster, which I already explained. That one tastes just like Monster. Then I got Fruit Loops. Should be self-explanatory.
Actually, guys, if you're going to go with cereal, that is the only vape juice that I have found that actually tastes like cereal. Even when you vape it.
Fruit Loops. White Caramel Mocha. Now, this is one of my favorites, but it's one of those that it's a one-day vape. You vape it for one day, and then you got to switch over to a different flavor, or else this will start tasting like butt. But it tastes really good. It literally tastes like a Frappuccino. I kind of wish he'd added a little more coffee flavor to it, because I do enjoy drinking coffee in the morning. I usually drink coffee at work. That's another bottle of Fruit Loops. And then, of course, I got my big bottle right here. This is Juice Head. It's strawberry kiwi. It's really good. It's 70% vegetable glycerin and 30% propylene glycol. Which, if you're curious as to what propylene glycol is, it's basically sugar alcohol or sugar. And none of this stuff is really that bad for you. Now, mind you, when you vape these things, you are turning it into a vapor, and you're breathing it in, so they don't really know 100% what all the side effects are long term, because vaping hasn't really been around too long. Menthol, as you know, is menthol like cigarettes, but that's just straight menthol. That don't have the flavor of cigarettes in there. Whenever you use that, you have to use some kind of a tobacco blend to make it taste right. Now this last one, this one right here is CBD, and it's legal here. They legalized it a couple of months ago. Which, of course, if you go online, they haven't even updated everything online, but I have actually done my research on it, and all the vape shops out here are selling it. And, you know, all this really does is it kind of helps, like, if you got headaches, or if you have, you know, chronic pain throughout your body or whatever, it kind of helps relieve some of that pain. It helps you sleep a little bit better. You know, a lot of people think of CBD, oh, well, you smoking pot. No, it's not. It don't have no THC in it, which means it's not going to show up on a pee test. It's not going to cause you to be stoned. You're not going to be like, You're not going to be over there raiding the refrigerator every 5 minutes. So don't buy this if you're expecting to be feeling awesome. But you will feel you'll be in a better mood. You won't be so grouchy. You know, it's not a physical feel, if that's what you're looking for. It's just literally, it connects with the receptors in your brain that basically makes you feel like you're in a better mood. And it does help. And the only problem with this little bottle right here was like $60. I probably won't be buying this particular one ever again, because like I said, it was $60, and I've found them online for like $25 and $30, and definitely would rather buy them online than buy them through the vape shop and spend $60. The problem with buying them online, now let me explain this. If you buy CBD oils online, you run the risk of getting ones that actually do have THC in them. And THC, as you know, is illegal in almost all states except for just a small handful. So you have to be very careful and make sure that when you go to your website, if you go to buy CBD oil from a website, you have to make sure and double check to make sure that it says 0% THC. Because if it don't say that, there's a good chance it's got THC in it, which means it will show up in your system. Which means if you're, you know, got kids or on probation or something like that, you could fail a pee test, and that would be bad. Let's see, and I think that's pretty much it. I will say the differences. Decent cloud, small one, nighttime thing. This is more of a daily use. As you can see, this one gives you a lot bigger cloud, and it's, you know, it gives you a better flavor altogether. So yeah, this is a daily use. This is more of a nighttime to kind of keep by your bed kind of thing. I think that's pretty much it that I can say.
What's up, guys? This is excuse me, we all got a little bit of a cough over here. This is Bama Girl Amy, and he asked me to do some of the speaking on here. Guys, if you're getting into vaping, from what I have seen Random go through, I would suggest this bigger one. As he has stated, I will hit like the zero just to see about the flavors. He wanted to do a review, so I told him if he would buy zero nicotine, I would do the review with him. Now, out of these two, this one right here does produce a good flavor, and as y'all seen, it does have a good smoke to it, a cloud. This one right here has about the same on the cloud, honestly. I mean, if he don't suck as much, it's about the same on the cloud. But as far as flavor enhanced, I would say that the bigger one is the better buy. And I do want to add something that he did forget to mention earlier. It's not the nicotine that has been proven to give people cancer. What has been proven to give people cancer is the tar that you are putting into your system. It's not the nicotine at all. It is simply the tar. The tar comes into your lungs as you're smoking a cigarette, and it turns your lungs black and all yucky. As you guys know, several years ago, I had a real bad car wreck, and it messed up my lungs to where I pretty much have permanently pneumonia year-round. Every time I get sick, it's going to lead to pneumonia. So I did quit smoking just completely cold turkey. Random needed a little bit of help, so he got him a vape. And he wanted me to try it with him just for the simple flavors and just for the review of this, where I can give my honest opinion on the vape. And I says I really didn't want to vape because I don't do nicotine. I haven't had nicotine in my system in over 3 years. But I did do some research, and I found out that if you're doing the zero, that it's perfectly safe and it's okay. And it's just as easy to quit as it is anything. So I decided that, if he would buy a 0 milligram, meaning it has absolutely no nicotine in it at all, that I would do the review with him and just taste the different flavors. So that's why he's got a couple of zeros over there. And then he does have some 18s and stuff, which he did. He was a heavy smoker. He was smoking nearly 3 packs of cigarettes a day. So he went from an 18 milligram all the way down to, he does have some ones, but I'm not going to sugarcoat it and lie for him. He does still vape a lot of the 6, and I don't think he would lie about that. He does still vape a lot of 6, but he is trying to get down to a 1. He does have several 3s that he will smoke throughout the day. And then, at night when his craving comes on that he wants a cigarette or whatever, he will move up to the 6. So, but he's doing pretty good. As he stated, he did quit February the 1st, and he hasn't put a cigarette in his mouth at all since February the 1st, so he's doing really good. But that's pretty much all I have to say. So you guys don't get the wrong impression that I'm smoking or whatever. No, I did, hit the vape with him, but it is a 0, so it's, I wouldn't say it's safe, but, it's better than hitting nicotine. So I just tried it, basically for the review. So I guess he's going to show you guys how he changes out his bowls. So I hope you guys have a beautiful day. Love you guys, and peace out.
Yeah, I'm basically changing out the colors. If you noticed on these rings, they got the different colors, and I had a blue one on this one. I want to kind of make them match, though. So I'm changing out these little rings, or at least I'm trying to. It's easier said than done. It's just a matter of getting my hand in there and actually getting a hold to it. Now, I will say, when you're doing this kind of stuff, your hands are going to get greasy and oily. So it's
really sticky. That's just basically the sugar.
But I think that's pretty much it. Oh, there we go. I finally got my finger underneath it. Alrighty, now let's just pop this other one back over the top of it. Pop that right in there. There we go. And now I can just take and screw this back on, which will push it all back together. Well, I say
now the one he's working on screws together, and this top on this one right here, it folds out or expands out. It opens up. It's pretty
yeah,
cool.
I'll show how that one opens in just a second. And I'm actually going to show you how to refill this one. Or actually, I'll show you how to refill both of them. But once I have the bowl on there, as you can see up here on the top, there's some holes on the side. And see, these are really simple to work with. You just literally put it in that little hole and you squeeze. Just like that. Put your top back on, which this is a no-leak bottle, so I could have just laid it down, but still. And then you take your mouthpiece and you just screw it back on there. And just like that. Clean everything up. I'm going to use this sock over here. It's a clean sock, don't worry. Just to wipe all the oil off of it, because this stuff, like I said, gets everywhere. And it is good to change your flavors out every once in a while. Are you driving a Mack truck down the street? Yeah, they are.
Yeah, very good point, guys. Don't forget to change your flavors out, because I have read you can get Vapor's Tongue. That is from where you are smoking the same flavor
Too often.
Too often. You can open it like 2 or 3 days in a row. You can get Vapor's Tongue, and what that means is you eventually stop tasting your flavor. And then when you change over to a new brand, you're not really going to taste that new brand for a few days as well. So keep alternating, guys.
Now they match. But I like that. It glows red now. That's pretty cool. Well, alright, guys. That's pretty much it, guys.
Show them how that one opened.
Oh, yeah. I get distracted. As far as this one, it's got a little button over here on the side. If you press that button, this top will just slide over just like that. And you can
make a mess.
You can make a mess.
Just like that.
Ooh, that's good flavor. Now I can turn it this way. But as you can see, it's got this hole right here. That's where you fill it through. You do not ever put it in that center hole. You put it in that center hole, you're going to mess your whole thing up. And you ain't got to worry about, you know, thinking, oh, well, I'm going to miss and spill and get it in that middle hole. If a little bit gets in that middle hole, it's not that big of a deal. You just kind of make sure you take like a Q-tip and just stick it down in there and just barely dry it out.
And let it sit 15 minutes.
And let it sit 15 minutes. To close it, okay, I will tell you this much. I didn't realize this when I first got it. I just took it and done this, and I was like, man, it ain't wanting to, you know, close. You actually got to push down a little bit and push to get it to lock back in place. But once it locks in place, you're set to go. You got my 2 little vapes. As you can see now, they match. They're both got the red rings going on. This one right here is just the kiwi, strawberry kiwi, and this one is got a little bit of CBD oil mixed in it. But even with the CBD oil, this one, because I got the flavorless CBD oil, I will say, one thing I did notice with smoking the CBD oil is you will have that taste of marijuana in your mouth after a while if you smoke it too often. So you kind of have to be careful with that. That being said, guys, you know, I don't condone smoking for minors by any means. kids, stay away from this stuff. Parents, keep an eye on your kids. I'll tell you right now, though, the one thing I have noticed with kids is the main thing the kids are wanting to smoke these for has nothing to do with the actual idea of smoking. It's 9 times out of 10, it's the cloud of smoke. They just enjoy blowing out these big clouds of smoke, or they'll do these little tricks where they'll make, spirals and stuff. You can actually pull up videos where people show you all kind of different stuff you can do with the smoke. But that's the main thing I have noticed with kids, is that's the reason why they're wanting to smoke these, is they're like, oh, that's cool seeing all the smoke. So just kind of keep an eye on your kids. Don't let them get a hold of vapes. If you find out that your kid is smoking a vape, my suggestion, honestly, is one, take the vape away from them, because they don't need to be smoking. It's illegal for them to smoke them. It don't matter if it's got nicotine in it or not. And two, talk with them. Explain to them the hazards. There's all kind of websites you can go to that tell you the different hazards you can have from smoking vapes. One of the biggest hazards that they found is what they call popcorn lung, but that's with certain e-liquids or certain vape juices. But with that being said, guys, I hope y'all have a great day, and I hope y'all enjoy this video. This is Random Nation. I'm out of here.